Let's yeah, already problems. This is why this one's the sacrificial pancake. All right, so here's what we're gonna try and do. Hey, Chad, thanks, man. Thanks for shouting that out. Nate, say a few things.
Hey, hello, it's Nate Bjork, or just Nate. Hello,
Okay,
can you?
we'll see if Chad's picked that up. That should be the desktop audio. Hey, there we go. So all of that intro is useless. Good thing you showed every snack that you had.
Yeah,
So that worked out pretty good.
I showed all the stacks.
Okay, well,
Identify them in the comments, Chad. Thank
then,
you.
then we're just gonna have to like back up and start over. We're gonna be watching NASCAR movie called Days of Thunder, and everyone
hmm
looks at NASCAR as it's been viewed for a long, long time historically. A lot of
hmm
rednecks, obnoxious fans are what come along with it. That's the famous quote by Tony Stewart that talked about the Talladega fans. He said, "If it weren't for these obnoxious fans," and then the next race, everybody had shirts that said "obnoxious fans."
Oh, nice.
Um, there we go. So Chad's got her snacks. Good to go. Um, I will say that if you do like auto racing, I would give NASCAR another shot. In 2020, when the Black Lives Matter movement happened, they asked Bubba Wallace, which is, I believe, the second black NASCAR driver, what can we do, Bubba? He said, get rid of the Confederate flag, ban it. And it was like the next day.
They were still using it.
Well, they've never used it. It's never been associated with NASCAR.
Oh,
The fans would fly it, so they had to ban them at all the racetracks. It's never had
okay.
anything to do with NASCAR. It's only
Oh, okay.
again, the fans that fly it. And Bubba took a lot of heat for that, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. said the same thing in a tweet like 3 months before that. So they
Yeah,
asked and it was gone. They told the fans you can't fly anymore because they're more interested in race fans, not people that are going to fly that kind of thing.
yeah.
Um,
Racing, not racism.
yeah, exactly. And I think they've made a lot of great strides. Also, it's different. Like when I was a kid, there it was people build these cars in their barns. Now it's in like a lab. Like all the floors are clean. People get out of these cars crisp and clean. This is not what I grew up with. And
This
also,
isn't like so. It's not like Dom Toretto isn't making these cars.
not anymore. No. It's a whole thing. I definitely say that if you're into auto racing, check out what they're doing now. That's my disclaimer for it. But let's talk about the movie real quick. This has the craziest cast of any movie you've ever seen. Tom Cruise is the lead, right? That's already pretty crazy. Nicole Kidman. This is where they got together on this one. It's
Did they
got
meet on?
this was their first piece together. Absolutely.
Okay.
So that ship happened. That ship sailed on this journey, as it were. Robert Duvall plays, in my opinion, the best role he's ever played. Michael Rooker's in this movie plays the enemy that becomes the friend, the first frenemy that I can think of in movie history. Like, and then when they switch from him being the villain, it becomes Carrie Elways. He becomes the second nicest guy in Hollywood is
Wow.
the villain, the second villain, not even the first one in this movie. Randy Quaid's in this movie, and he's probably the most normal of anybody in the rest of it. I'm trying to think if there's anybody I'm forgetting. You're gonna have a lot of actual race car drivers. There are stories this movie's based on that really happened. I'm gonna try and point some of them out.
Okay.
But I've been prattling on for a while, so
Let's
let's
talk over this movie.
absolutely. So yeah, if you haven't got it yet and you want to watch with us, go check it out on Amazon for rent or for buy. Go ahead and buy it because you're gonna want to. I don't want to say that. You rent it and see what you think about it. Um, and in a moment, I'll give you a 1, 2, 3, go, and we'll hit go. I'll try and remember to move my mouse around so we can see, what's going on there. Um,
Ooh, with X-ray.
is X-ray. Yeah, the problem's going to be. Should have tested this because this is going to play the movie audio too. That's okay. I just wonder if I can do it with subtitles on my side, and we'll figure it out for the next time. All right. Oops. Back that up. Stop, please.
I am paused at 0, 0, 0, and 0 seconds.
All right. I'm going to give you a 1, 2, 3, go. We'll go on go. You ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, go. Also, in the future, I want to try and do watch parties. So then that way it's like,
Oh, there's sexual content in this, Trent.
yeah, and foul language. Alcohol use.
I'll use violence.
Man, I'm so excited that you're going to watch Days of Thunder.
All right, so we got some clouds. All right.
Well, this is the most iconic production logo of all time. Don Simpson, Jerry Bruckheimer. They made some of the best movies. Have you ever heard of The Rock? Not Dwayne.
Paramount.
No, no,
Oh,
that's
the movie with Sean Connery and the prisons.
yes. Paramount.
Alcatraz.
I heard that Don Simpson on this movie, Oh no, Chad doesn't know about the smut in this movie. I heard that Don Simpson met a girl that he was really interested in, gets her into the movie, convinces Tony Scott to hire her. Don starts dating her. She leaves Don for Tony, and that was Tony's wife up until his death.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm telling you right now, you know Top Gun. I want you to be mindful that this is a sequel.
Okay.
And see if I'm wrong. I think I saw a Canadian flag too back there.
I definitely saw one. There's the
there it is.
Flag.
That's what we're talking
Pepsi.
about.
Pepsi is a country.
Wow, they really It's unfortunate. That's okay though. They got away from it. They made better choices.
So are there really this many people on like?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The infield is like I would never go to the infield.
Are those people who work for the?
No. So when you go,
they're fans as well.
Yeah, like at Talladega, you can get a seat like up in those bleachers, or you can just pay like a general admission price to get into the outfield or infield rather, and you can park like an RV. You can do tailgating. But what they actually do is scream obscenities, take their shirts off, and drink lots of, I assume now, White Claw. Yeah, the infield is a place I will never, ever, ever, ever go. But that's what's crazy. I was watching a video recently of a guy who oh, let me move the thing so I can keep this going. I was watching a video recently of a guy who he started working for NASCAR, and the first day he got to go and see a race, and he was like, "There's no fence between me and just the racetrack. Like if I wanted to run out in front of a car right now, I could just do that."
Whoa!
Yeah, so this is down in Daytona.
Epic way to go out.
Oh, just step out on the track? It'd be quick. It'd be loud. These cars are so boxy back then. Like, this is when they first started, like, stamping out, like, a shell for these things. Have we forgotten that it's a Don Simpson, Jerry Bruckheimer, directed by Tony Scott movie? So I haven't.
Here, I'm going to turn...
Oh, is it too loud for you? Is it too hot for you in the kitchen?
Oh, I'm trying to balance you versus the movie audio.
Okay. You can just ignore me. There he is, Michael Rooker.
Go!
He's Mary Poppins, y'all.
Go, cars! Go, Days of Thunder! Ha ha ha!
I think the offices for NASCAR in Charlotte. Here's the thing. I'm gonna go ahead and I can't defend this, but for some reason I started getting into NASCAR last year, and then I just went down a wormhole of videos, essays, books, like reading about the early days, like all the cheating and the fights and everything. It's hilarious. It's the funniest sport ever.
How do you cheat at racing cars?
Well, we call it innovating, and then the next year there's a rule. That's how that works out. Yeah, Randy Quaid is just, he's not Cousin Eddie. And Robert Duvall is I know this person. I know this character. Like, I know as like a relative.
I bet you I know who they would get as the driver.
Who do you think it is? What do you think his name is?
Days of Thunder.
What do you think Days of Thunder's name is in this, if you had to guess?
Rick Thunder.
Oh, I forgot somebody else is in this movie. You're going to have a surprise unless you caught it in the opening credits, but there's a guy playing a character that he later parodies in another movie of basically the same character. It's pretty great. He's got that sass. Harry does.
My boss is calling me.
Are you supposed to be at work right now? Tell him you're watching Days of Thunder. Fuck off. Welcome to the first episode of the TalkOver. This is going excellent. I'll just talk to the audience right now. How you guys doing? Hey, hi.
John says to maximize the zoom window so it takes up more of the screen.
Well, then it will cover up the numbers.
Oh, okay.
But tell John I said thank you. That's really nice of him. He could chat, and he can put it in the chat too. I'm monitoring.
I'm sorry, man.
Thanks, Chad. Tell John I said thank you. It's really nice of him. So I want you to note this part. If you're from California, you're not anything. You're not a Yankee. It's important.
If you're starting late,
mm-hmm.
You have to watch we're not showing the movie.
No. Yeah, not at all.
But we are at timestamp 6 minutes 47, 6 minutes 48, 49.
Mm-hmm. All right, this is important right here, Nate. This is a story. This is the whole story right here. Oh man, he's so tough. He's so cool.
I thought he'd be taller.
Swear words. Somebody didn't tell. Daddy's mad. I want that Purelator hat so bad. That Duvall's wearing. Vintage hats are just going on eBay, man. Like old crumpled, your dad had it on the dash of the truck for like 20 years hats. For some kind of beer they don't sell anymore.
You should buy some and sell them on eBay.
Look what he's driving. How does Tom Cruise get around in Top Gun? Do you know?
Same.
Mm-hmm.
He just came from being.
He has so many jackets on too.
He's like, "Hi, I'm Top Gun."
It's even better.
Heard you needed a driver. Well, I heard you needed a driver.
Speed.
I got a need.
Yeah, you haven't said it once. I'm so disappointed in you, man. It's actually right. It's gotten way better. You can watch it on like
excellent coverage, excellent.
Yeah, do you know like a month ago they were racing in the streets of Chicago for NASCAR, and I got to watch it on Peacock.
Really?
Yeah, it's at the time that we live in. It's crazy. Oh man, see enemies at the gate already. And he's gonna sit on his motorcycle. Bend my race car, I bend your Harley.
Joke's on you. My butt's been on that.
I ride on it naked through the desert. I'm
sweaty.
Top Gun.
Talk. When you're up there, you talk. You're dead.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so he comes in out of nowhere off the West Coast, and then and gonna run like he could have been.
Oh, look at that ass!
Right?
Ho ho ho!
He's denim on denim, but he went black and blue denim, just like the color of his school, the street. School of Hard Knocks, black and blue.
Hard Knocks.
Yeah. That joke was awesome. Seriously, I want that Purelator hat. It just keeps staring at me. He knows that they're going to tell he's a fraud.
He's not that cocky in this. He's not Top Gun. Top Gun's cocky. He's not cocky in this.
Well, he's older. You know, he's going to be like a few years older. He would have hung around. He would have done whatever his amount of time he had, and then dipped out of the military for a little bit, and came back. That would also help explain why his rank is still what it is in Top Gun Maverick. Oh, yeah.
Drop the hammer.
Yeah, baby.
Drop the fuck. Oh,
he's gone.
I knew that drop the hammer meant shift probably.
No, it's the gas pedal.
Nope.
So what gear is shifting into is the hammer? What gear am I shifting into?
fourth gear. No, anytime you shift down, it's in the dropping the hammer.
I don't know that that car has a fourth gear.
Dropping from third to fourth is the hammer. Dropping from fifth to sixth is the hammer.
Oh.
Dropping from seventh to reverse is the hammer.
Okay. Well, please don't be Please don't be the pit crew chief for a NASCAR person anytime soon, because they won't. They're like, "What? You want me to lift the gas and then press it down again?"
Whoa, dude!
That scares me when they do those. They're even faster now.
You shouldn't do that the first time you drive a race.
You see who that is?
That's John C. Reilly.
Yeah, he's basically playing what he plays in Talladega Nights, but different.
You pee your pants when you're in there, right?
I mean, if you're gonna win,
yeah.
If you want to finish the race, Cole Trickle, damn nice to meet you, Buck. The coolest. I remember being a kid after because I finally did watch it, and I was just like, we should have a name like Cole Trickle. And I'm older. I'm like, I'm so glad my name's not Cole Trickle, because it's taken from the famous race car driver Dick Trickle.
Okay.
And that man had a career, a good career, and he went by the name Dick Trickle, which is good for him. They race NASCARs at Indy, yo.
Then why do they call it that?
Well, actually, if you ever want to hear a long story, look up anything about Smokey Yunick. They did not have rules about a lot. They were stock cars before him. And then he was like, I'm just going to put a bigger gas tank in mine. Everybody's like, you can't do that, Smokey. He's like, you didn't tell me I could. It was the Airbud rules. Like, no one said they couldn't.
You're so busy telling me what you couldn't do. You shouldn't figure it out, think about it, consider if you should do.
Yes. You get it. You just gold bloomed.
All right, so you take this.
Yeah, back in the day, they actually might have like given you a frame to start with. I'm a little fuzzy on how they actually get the cars now, but they have to buy them now. Like, they don't even build them themselves. It's wild. It's wacky. This hat I don't want. This one's a poo-poo hat.
Yeah, but he's been sweating in it, which means it's been honest work.
I mean, it's cool because it's Robert Duvall. Complex, this character. I think he's based on the guy that was maybe crew chief for Dale Earnhardt Sr. I think. I've heard some stories from that guy. You know, they asked him to talk kind of about the cheating back in the day.
These are guns.
Yes, everyone's it's Twisted Metal.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, everyone should watch. It's hilarious. It's way better than anyone would expect it to be.
That's on Peacock, yes.
Yeah. I'm just repping Peacock today, man. Send me some money.
Now paint it. Yeah. Now it's done. Like, you could try drive it out before you paint all the shit on it, just to make sure.
He knows. He knows. He's Harry Hog. He knows.
Oh, okay. Cold Trickle.
I probably wouldn't have also made part of my car yellow if my last name was Trickle. That's just a personal thing with me. But
yeah,
you know, hey,
also,
if you win races, you can do whatever you want.
I'm not just cool. I'm ice cold Trickle.
Oh. We're going to get a little bit of explanation in NASCAR.
Oh.
Rubbin's racing.
I race all the time then.
I was racing this morning. I didn't have nothing else to do. I was comfy in bed. It was a race. Absolutely.
There goes a quarter panel.
Oh, I forgot. We've got
another piece.
I have to change outfits for this part of the movie. Go.
Give me some loving.
Yeah, right? The soundtrack's epic, man. I also forgot to mention music by Hans Zimmer.
Don't you have to like go through the minor leagues before you can play in the big show like this?
No.
Oh, look at that. Get a new tire, idiot.
No, the guy that took the win in Chicago, SVJ, he's from New Zealand. He races Australian, but he came over to like just run like I think just like that race or maybe a few others. Travis Pastrana, well, he does a lot of other stuff too, but no, it's crazy. NASCAR is.
Race
Yeah,
car, why?
because he's hit everything else on that racetrack. He wants them to be perfect. Yeah, a little shade, maybe allow a little fire under his trickle. My trickle.
There goes a quarter panel.
Mmm.
I like this movie.
Right. It's adrenaline fueled, edge of your seat, high action. Only gets a little inappropriate at times.
Oh, he bangs that girl in the cowboy hat, I bet.
Neither confirmed. They're also they used to be so dirty when they would get out of these things, and they're just inhaling like what was already burned from the engine, you know, the oil and carbon and shit. Why no one thought to just put something over their mouth, like a rag or something? I don't understand. I don't understand how all of them don't have like miner's lungs. Watch this. Oh, I don't understand how you navigate the pits. I don't know how this. When I watch it, I'm like, how do they decide? Because I would do this. I did do that into a guardrail once.
Like, Rockingham, North Carolina.
All of this is happening right now are real stories. So that happened to somebody, which is conceivable. You know, it makes sense. Like, okay, he messed up in the pits. There was an accident. This right here actually happened. Race car drivers get so mad. They get so angry, and now they're on social media. It's hilarious.
When I first got my driver's license, my neighbor said, "I saw you driving out there the other day. I'm gonna get you an ice cream cone because you're gripping that steering wheel so tight."
White knuckle.
Look, that guy.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Oh my god, NASCAR racer fights are my favorite. They get so angry, and you think about it. You've been out there for 2 hours. The hammer is all the way down. You've shifted through all your other hammers, and you're doing this for 2 hours. And somebody hits you on the last lap, or your pit crew isn't there for you, or they lose. Mostly, what happens is they like don't get a tire on well, or one of them rolls away. They get so mad on the radio. They're so angry. They're like yelling, and they're like, "I don't want to yell at the pit crew. I know they didn't mean to do it."
I'm going to do a quick time check. It is 19 minutes now.
Okay. I've been showing it on the screen.
Oh, you have?
I've been doing pretty good at it.
Oh, well, then never mind.
But thank you, though. Rubbing's racing. No. Okay, that's not it.
Pop quiz.
Mm-hmm. Shoot the hostage.
Texas Pete's.
Oh, is that in the background?
That's the hot sauce that's on the table.
Oh, you are a bit of a hot sauce aficionado. It is your fault. They're not in the car with you, Cole. No one else is pushing the gas pedal but you, buddy.
See it's Texas Pete's.
Oh yeah. All right. Some of that smoke. Some of that swearing. This is where I think this movie sets apart from a lot of other movies of its ilk, is that typically that character would stay the same. The dynamic would stay the same for a long way into it. Instead, this next part happens, and I think that's what kind of sets this one apart a little bit as far as like story structure and writing.
Sets it apart, sets it a fart.
Yeah, no, it sets it apart. This movie's not a fart. It is a lot. It is a heck of a gas, though. It's a bad one. Why do we do this? We could have just watched this. Like I could have ordered a pizza. It'd have been great.
Hey, what's your favorite? Where's the best ranch come from? Ranch dressing.
What's my favorite?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess Hidden Valley.
Pizza Hut brand.
Oh, they do have some good ranch. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that. Well, they quit just selling it to me out of the tap. I started showing up.
You said pizza, and I thought of that ranch.
Yeah, man, that ranch is fire. Pizza Hut for the rescue, man. Which I can't put it all on Robert Duvall, like on, Tom's character as well. This is all so stereotypical for a movie like this until this part. Like Batman would never admit a flaw in the first act of the movie. And Batman's never won a NASCAR race. That's a fact.
I don't know how to drive or read.
How to drive or read? Is
like,
that canon that Batman can't read? He's the greatest detective.
The what Tom Cruise is about to admit.
I wish that he couldn't read. Oh my god. What a better movie. Oh, they teach him to read and to race and to love. Okay, I gotta take this hat off. Yeah. I'll bring the props out later in the Carrot Top of podcasting. Unless Carrot Top has a podcast. I hope he doesn't have a podcast.
Top of the pod cast.
So see, he's like, I don't know I don't know cars. I drive cars. I don't make them. I don't know how to talk about them. And Harry's like, oh,
wait, so what, they didn't do this ahead of time? They
no,
didn't do this first.
No. Sometimes you have to run before you can crawl.
Before you can crawl. All right.
He has a need for speed.
He's got a need for.
Some more terminology. Loose is fast. He's really sensitive about the tires, Harry. You keep bringing up tires. You're gonna get him fired up again. He's gonna get angry.
Did they not have tweezers on set?
Oh wait, are you seeing some?
That unibrow on Tom.
Oh, yeah, it's powerful. It's a power brow. That's a prowess.
It's not thick enough to keep.
Back then, they weren't removing any unnecessary hair back then. Are you kidding me? You think they're going to go for the eyebrows? Like, he's been in this suit sweating for 2 hours and behind a rocket. You think the eyebrows are going to get attention if the downstairs doesn't get the yard mowed? That's the secret of cold trickle. They actually hire a lot of ex NFL or people that like get an injury or wash out or something. Pro sports players to do like the pit crews nowadays, which I think is really cool because they're already used to doing something very athletic, something very hard, being on time for practice and stuff like that.
I guess like throwing tires around is not easy.
No, man, and think about too all the practice. Like you have to be accountable for all that prep work, just like an athlete has to. Way more than a driver has to now because they don't let them practice. The drivers don't get to practice hardly at all nowadays, which that I don't like. I don't think that's cool. I think they should give them more practice time.
Moog, the synthesizer company?
No, no, they make car parts.
Or like car farts.
Although I haven't seen that logo in a long time. I don't think they still do make car parts. Watch this right here.
We have a need for it.
God, he's so cool.
Hey, can you shorten my sleeves a little bit?
And lower my hat? He told him the car's perfect. And he's like, get a room, guys. They're in love. Harry and Cole. Fastest friends ever.
Fastest friends. Too fast?
Too furious.
Lovely.
Oh yeah, he's trying to replace Goose after he killed him.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Is this baby's first pass?
We passed one today.
On the outside.
Oh, we never passed him on the outside. Yeah, you have to abide by highway laws in a NASCAR race. Everyone only passes on the left. Uh-oh. What'll happen is that car will get pulled for fucking inspection after this race. When they see somebody just shoot around people.
Days. Thunder.
This was a really like tough looking model of stock car around this time. Because like after this, they got real swoopier.
Do they put cameras on nowadays all over the car so the driver can see?
They live stream car cams nowadays. Like
this is replete with blind spots. I can tell.
Oh, it's got even more blind spots today because they have like a whole because of Earnhardt Senior dying. They have way more safety stuff. Their helmet has a hose now that blows air into their head. You can't like look anywhere. So you got mirrors, but you also have a spotter, which is a guy just like up on a stand with binoculars telling you like who's above you, where they at. Like lane change assist. Ah, the enemy is taking a stab.
I like this Trent because he's not automatically the best.
No, right away. Absolutely not. And I want to point out too, this like sort of rivalry kind of stuff absolutely happens all the time. And
he just shifted.
Like
he dropped the hammer.
You can actually hear audio of Jeff Gordon when he was kind of later in his career. Some young rookie was coming up and trying to take over, and he kind of was racing a little more dangerous. And I think he hit him or he bumped Gordon. And Gordon goes over the radio and he's like, "I'm gonna go back out there and teach him how to race." And he just fucking annihilates the guy. It's so funny because they'll totally do that to like a rookie or somebody like that. Like teach them the ropes of like, all right, you got a big head now, but we're gonna do something about that.
Air gun's jammed.
Mm-hmm. By the way, anybody that's still here right now, the future talkovers won't be this NASCAR heavy. Again, I just went down a wormhole of looking up stuff. And so I know a weird amount about it. The rest of them will be probably more movie-centric.
Nope.
All NASCAR movies. It's this
all
one.
NASCAR movies.
It's that one with Travolta that I watched a while back that's terrible.
Oh, God, this movie rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just threw the hammer down.
When they do this, what's that?
Warming up the tires. So these tires, when they get hot, get real sticky. It turns into a glue. And so it'll keep you stuck to the track. If they're cold, they're just going to like slide. But if you get them too sticky, they'll also slide. But loose is fast and on the edge of out of control. So yeah, so they normally will, if there's an accident or something, they'll put out a car to slow everyone down. They can clear the accident. Everyone keeps their same position. And so when they're going slow, if they just pitted, they're fresh tires. So they just in Formula One, they have tire warmers. It's like a big electric blanket they put around their tires. It's kind of cool. I want to work for the company that makes electric blankets for tires. Match Perfect and Staggered Special is kind of like the granny shift and not double clutching like you should of its time because it makes sense, just not in that. He had the wrong and fastest on the wrong syllable. Yep. I think that.
Sorry, I'm interrupting you so much. But
oh no! It's not called interrupting, Nate. It's called talking over.
He's gonna pass on the outside, but on turn 4, that's dangerous. He's gonna hit that wall.
Mm-hmm. You're learning so much. This movie's educational. It's edutainment.
So there's a big wall there, apparently.
Around the whole thing, yeah.
No, but I mean, like, on turn 4 especially?
I'd have to look up that track. I don't know what's up with that. It's probably just a tighter turn. He probably doesn't have as much room. And you don't want to take it high on any of them. So.
Why don't they... All right.
What?
You're fucked up.
What?
Take your gun and you shoot the guy.
In NASCAR, just take your gun out.
Thought of this?
I mean, it is the South.
These guys are idiots. Come on.
I guarantee there's been a NASCAR race ran where one of the drivers had a gun on him. There's no way that didn't happen.
I'd say there's more of a chance. I would say that in every race, there's probably at least one gun on the track.
There's a weird noise that happens right here, and I never know what that noise is. It's like a high-pitched thing that happens after he says something. Oh, no, it's when Randy Quaid comes in. Sorry. I'm ahead of myself. So you see, he lied to him. He told him they were special tires.
It was like how it's how the talent was in his heart the whole time, not in his ballerina shoes.
This is such a you story. Like, this is something one of the you and your brother when you guys were kids, and there were the stories of Knight Nathaniel and Prince Levi and stuff of like it was in his heart the whole time. Yeah, baby, he's got money finally. I can't imagine having a dealership being like, I'm going to sponsor a race car. Because it's expensive. Michael Jordan owns a team now. Pitbull's part owner of a NASCAR team. Mr. Worldwide.
Is he drinking moonshine?
Yeah. See, she's more into Buck. Because we all know what Buck came here to do. Party!
Yeah, party.
He's so cool. Denim on denim. Matching this time. Why do you have to also be a Scientologist? What if one day he's like, you know what? I'm tired of it. You know? Just can't keep up with it anymore.
Hey, this new beverage is pretty good. I should try this before the next race.
What, Budweiser? Like, not even a Bud Light. All right. We didn't eat dinner, so. We'll get to have some beer talk. In a few weeks, I'm going to do Smoking the Bandit with Brandon.
Ooh.
So there'll be a lot of Southern beer talk.
Hey, props. That had less moonshine in it on the last take.
Here's my question. Do you think it actually is moonshine, or are they drinking water or vodka?
It's water.
I don't know.
Oh,
if Don Simpson produced it.
It might be something that, because you have to make it bitter so he's not slamming it.
And also, you can kind of tell when it's water versus like vodka or something. Like slightly oilier. Oh, they're friends. We love each other here. Dad and brother are fighting again. I love all the stickers in this RV. I love like telling a story with your surroundings, your environment, your set. I love this.
This is an RV?
Yeah, it's like a trailer, like a camp. You see like the lights moving? They're going down the road right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like their truck where they also carry the cars back there. I wonder who she is. I wonder if
it's a groupie. It's a groupie.
I wonder if she is she's Tony's wife. Should have looked that up beforehand. Ooh.
Problem. You're not on the racetrack now, boys. Better slow down.
So he just hops into the Chevy Lumina stock car, puts the hammer down, drives out the back of it. The Dukes of Hazzard theme plays. The rest of the movie's a cop chase. I would still be just as excited. Imagine stepping out with like a joint in your hand or something.
Yeah. What's the matter, officer?
Wait, you want some? We got more. Don't drink it all.
They have it.
They're the police, man. The 5-0, the fuzz.
1312.
Uh oh. Yeah, they're real serious about law in the South. Now you know why I got pulled over so many
Oh, this is a
times.
prank.
Oh, a brazier.
We're allowed to do it, right?
That's what I've wondered since I was even as a young man. I knew that it's like, well, if she's a stripper, okay, but you don't touch strippers. You certainly don't make out with them. How did they find a delivery hooker? Like how? And they didn't just dress up her. They had enough cop costumes to fill two cop
Or they
cars.
actually got or most of those cops were real.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to tighten this down when we get done. There's so many things I have to fix after we do this first one, man. But so far, you liking it? You enjoying it?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Yeah, we're gonna try and take a pause about the hour mark. Do bathrooms and stuff, and come on back after about I don't know, about 10 minutes or so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering about that.
You
That's
may need more
that's the other
snacks.
reason why. That's the other reasons why I brought all my snacks here.
I will say that so right now to do the audio, the thing that messed up, if I were to turn up the volume on what I'm watching it on, you would hear the movie, and that's copywritten, so I don't want to just broadcast that out into the world. So I just turned the volume off on my. I know this movie so well. I know the.
Oh, so you don't hear it?
No, that's how well I know this movie. When you grow up and it's around, you just end up watching it all the time, and it's super watchable. But I am missing that soundtrack because it is slightly different than what Hans Zimmer's done before. You get the dun dun, dun and then wow, the electric guitar. It's America, dang it. Also, when I was a kid, I was like, why are they excited? Now they gotta wear pink costumes. Pink's stupid. Because it was the 80s. Or no, the 90s by that point.
So he's super flow, not green and not mellow yellow color anymore.
Yeah, so City Chevy was the sponsor. So the thing that doesn't get explicitly explained, but it's sort of like intimated, is that Randy Quaid owns a dealership called City Chevy. And so he wanted to start a race team. And so City Chevy was what the main sponsor was. Ooh. And then, by the way, Real Wreck, they let them film it, some real races. So they didn't do that for the movie.
That's gonna be scary if you can't see.
Yeah, it's not advisable. So yeah, so City
Are you
Chevy
allowed
to what?
like have smoke bombs and stuff, like simulate that on the track?
Yeah, and oil slicks and tack strips you drop and a afterburner and wings. That one's a helicopter. But yeah, so basically they got the racing team to the point where it won, and then a sponsor stepped in and bought that team from City Chevy. So now Randy Quaid has made his money back on the investment, but he's still team owner. It's just they're being funded by a bigger company, Superflow. It's just sponsorships.
I'm not a car battery. I don't need recharging.
The Rook is so awesome. Love the man. Rowdy.
Hold on, you don't need to charge me. That nurse just made my heart.
What's better than Cole Trickle? Rowdy Burns as a character name. Like, of course you're going to grow up and be a race car driver. Like, can you imagine? Like, yeah, I went to my doctor, Dr. Burns. Like, oh, that's a weird name. His first name's Rowdy. There she is. Someone's about to be wooed.
And it's just repeated the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Honestly, this is the part where you get up and go to the kitchen, if I'm being quite honest. Because this happens and it's like, all right, it's going to be slow for a little bit. And it's okay. But it's sweet. It's good. You can see how he's concerned. He just started. They just started making money. You got to fix this, Doc. I need this job. Your head shrink. He's talking about Harry, Nate. He loves him. He asked Nicole Kidman if you could talk to me like Harry does.
Don't need that anymore.
Pinnacle of SFX. Surprising the special effects department didn't win an Oscar for this one. But, Yeah. No. Because you went faster. It's not how that works. You go fast, they go faster.
This is going to give him the yips.
Oh, he's going to lose his mojo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he's gonna. Do you think the rest of Days of Thunder he's gonna spend them? He's gonna spend the rest of the Days of Thunder getting his groove back.
At least a couple Days of Thunder getting his groove back.
Okay. You gotta have one Day of Thunder after that's. Oh, you gotta go out on a win. So. Although I guess some movies, the hero of the story doesn't. Yeah, they just let me improvise this part. They love him. It's the boys, man. Boys came to check in on them. Just like in Top Gun, it's not okay to go up to him.
He's gonna think
this is not okay, boys. This is not okay. Just like in Top Gun, singing in the bar, this is also not okay. I'm telling you, this is a sequel. Because you're telling me that Cole Trickle's a real name. It's not a fake. Kids, shield your eyes. Okay. Well, all right. We're in this moment. Let's live it together. Let's talk about our emotions. How you feeling, Nate?
That's not okay.
It's not okay. Boys, don't do that. It's a lot of grapes. Like a lot of grapes. It is kind of funny to laugh at, but don't do that. Yeah, you gonna grab other people's hands and put them on your crotch, you dirty jerk? Learned that lesson, didn't you? Now the doctor's gonna put bleach in your in your drip. A little cayenne pepper in your IV.
There's another situation where he's passing on the outside
of the perfectly straight hallway. I guess it's the right.
Oh, they are doing a Days of Thunder in the hospital.
If I was one of those nurses, I would have said, "Fine, gotta let
Yeah.
go." Do you know how many other things I have to do today?
Right.
I know that you think you're a big NASCAR star, but people outside above a certain line in America don't know who you are. Go right ahead.
Above and that line is the Mason Dixon line.
Yeah.
That's a South joke.
That's actually a line that's brought up in Smokey and the Bandit is talking about what part of the country you're from, because there's been like several names said already that I have heard my whole life and you've probably never heard once.
He what is this, a joint? Uh
Yeah, they're gonna send him to space. He has to teach a mission on how to drive a stock car into Russia and
why
deliver a missile. It does
why
look
is
like a control room.
why are they both in there?
Because so the guy in the chair is I don't know if they said this already or not, but he's like the president of NASCAR. So he's wanting to hear how these two people, he's got to deal with this situation. Because after there's a big wreck, you have to deal with it. Because you got to find who was the instigator. Was it an accident? Was it a safety issue? It's a big deal. You're not supposed to hit each other. You're supposed to go fast. It's racing.
Interesting. They should do that with other things when people get hurt.
Yeah. It's funny to say that the sport they try to make it as safe as possible when it's like akin to launching yourself across the surface of the planet, you know?
Oh, this fella.
Oh, do you know him from something?
Isn't he on Law and Order?
The guy in the chair or the guy standing?
This is the guy in the chair who's we're looking at.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't watch Law and Order. I tried. I didn't know what SVU stood for until I tried it not too long ago. I didn't know it was sex crimes. I had no idea. So when I sat down to watch that, I was very surprised because I was like, okay, well, the first one gets your attention. Then I watched another one. I was like, oh, another one. And then at that point, I put it together. I was like, well, you know what? I might skip this one. I'm not a super huge fan of this. It's kind of ooky.
It's a real bummer, man.
It is a real bummer, man.
Trade paint. Ooh, hope they got steaks. Oh, that'll be awkward.
I think you might be a little bit ahead of me on the time. Mine might have like buffered or something. That's okay. We'll fix it at the hour mark. Yeah, so they had to go to dinner together. This happened. I don't remember who. I thought it was Senior, like Earnhardt Senior, and somebody else. I could be wrong, but it was two beefing race car drivers, and like it was basically like hold each other's hands, hold hands, and go together, and so.
You're trying to say beef and cheddars is what you're trying to say. You said beef and rate drivers. It's beef and cheddar is what you're talking about.
Okay.
I feel like you're trying to say beef and cheddar.
That's what I meant to say was beef and cheddar.
Yep.
They had beef and cheddars with each other.
Yep.
Doc, you don't take it personally. Thought you were a hooker. But in a good way. A professional hooker, that has a uniform.
She's so young here.
Mm-hmm. Him too.
Wow, aging exists. Oh well. He's okay. He's got his shirt buttoned to the top with an air tie.
It's called Steezen for no reason, Nate.
And that is what his look when he and Rain Man went to the casino.
Oh my God, he is doing the Rain Man. What if he left NASCAR and had to deal with his brother?
Yep, and there's cars in that one.
There's absolutely a car. He's an excellent driver. Excellent driver.
Yeah.
I didn't hate Dustin Hoffman so much. I may have to check that one out.
Why do you hate Dustin Hoffman?
Because he just like the way he handled his canceling. When he got canceled, he did about like what Kevin Spacey did. He blamed it on some bullshit.
I didn't know he got canceled.
Oh yeah, he was one of the early day ones. Sexual misconduct. He might have been acquitted for it, and he might not actually be guilty of it. I'm just talking about how he handled it.
Mm.
So that's because that's the only thing I can prove and I can see. And it's like if something like that happens, don't try and come up with some kind of other either own it or say you didn't do it if that's the truth. But just a personal thing for me. I think I could get over it to watch Rain Man again. It's been a long time. I mean, I'm watching the poster child for Scientology. How virtuous am I as a person? You know what I mean? Yeah. So you guys are going to drive together to dinner. Chad says Oblivion is the end of the Tom Cruise timeline. All right. You know what? I could see a world where Maverick leads to Oblivion. I don't see why not.
Oh, they're about to do a Need for Speed.
Mm-hmm. And they got the same cars that are their stock cars are branded as. Oh yeah, I do hate this song right here. I can remember it. I don't like it. It doesn't fit.
You can't do that to a rent. I hope they got their rental insurance.
You absolutely can do that to a rental car. The fastest car in the world right now is a rental car. That's the car you should do that to. Don't do it to your own. You know how it's always faster to go through the beach to get anywhere? Yeah. Like, man, if they just put a road on this beach, I'd get there so much faster.
Whoa!
Uh-oh. And also too, it's very consistent with the look, like the smoky orange when you're like anytime like you're outside, very, very very Top Gun, pre Michael Bay.
Oh no, Michael Rooker's doing the air tie.
Mm-hmm. Air tie. I've never heard it called that before. Jesus. Oh, Boise. Please tell me that's yours. Please tell me that's yours.
No, it's not. It's
not. No.
I think I got it from like Esquire or GQ or something.
Okay, then I don't mind stealing from them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the radiator broke. It's all out of radiates.
Oh, now they're buds because they have a secret.
No longer the enemy, the frenemy. And this is actually very indicative of racing because people that oftentimes the public views as rivals.
Whoa, Carrie Elway.
Yep. But as Russ Wheeler, they also sound kind of like gladiators a little bit. But oftentimes people view rivalries, and those two people live kind of a lonely life because they have fans coming after them, and they're always busy, and so it's hard to keep people around. So like your enemy in racing becomes your bud. It becomes the person you kind of knew the best. And that's what I hear a lot of these stories, but no one really holds grudges too long unless they just leave the sport. A lot of times people age out of that young, full of piss and vinegar attitude. These young whippersnappers.
Ooh. She's got an electric locking mechanism on her 80s car.
Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, mine's definitely buffering. I'll have to figure that out before the next talkover. Which means I might be upping my AT&T bill.
Yep, mine is brought to you by Fiber.
Yeah, had to. Yeah, I think you're the one that told me about it coming to this area. I literally just look. Okay, this is also not okay. He filled her room with all those balloons and stuffed animals. Like, if somebody did that for me, I would assume the next step is this is in exchange for my skin as a suit. Just one flower is way cooler. Guy's like, oh man, I wanted to make my coffee. I know how I like it. He's gonna mess it up. He did mess it up, yeah. Hey, you know how it's August, but it's colder than normal, and we're both wearing coats? Top down?
I guarantee that was annoying for her.
Oh,
The
yeah,
hair.
for sure. And his. It's about as long. You know, this is like right at the end of the mullet, you know, this era. Like we're pushing into just sort of big hair that wasn't exactly mullet territory. This is serious. Make out later. You think this is a game?
Now take your pants off.
Mm-hmm.
Now kiss.
Mm. Yeah, I don't really have a lot prepared for this part. It's really unfortunate because it's by far the slowest part. I don't really have a lot of like medical facts about racing, other than
I,
it's hella dangerous, and you don't always get to make out with your doctor. So
mm-mm.
you also probably shouldn't most of the time. And if your doctor asks you to make out with them, ask them how is it covered under your insurance.
They didn't even try to hide the height difference here.
Yeah, no, kinda. It's kind of is, but it isn't. I think you know, there's so much other stuff going on, you can barely notice it. But if you look, he's a short king. But you know, that's what we love about him. Oh, do you want to know how you're talking about your hobbies too much?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is sweet and low still a thing? I haven't seen it in forever. Makes me think of my grandma. All right, we're nearing the hour mark. We're gonna let this go through this scene. I don't want to break this up.
Like a sex machine.
Exactly like a sex machine. Like he's practicing playing cars as new
Mm-hmm.
doctor girlfriend leg. You Harry's like, no, Cole, when you go around my knee, don't go around the outside of the knee. That's my sensitive spot. I don't know why, it just is. I mean, you have only one race, so statistically speaking, doesn't look great for your motivation.
Oh,
Side boob. I'm trying to make it a thing that the Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf is the side boob of America.
okay.
I also tried to make, the Capitol building downtown in Madison old pointy, and we saw how far that went.
Yeah.
Exactly one person. Although you say it every now and then. I don't even say it half the time. So
Sadie calls it old pointy.
but she's the only one I convinced. I think
Yeah.
she's the one that came up with old pointy because I was like, I want a name for it. So that was not a very good campaign of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna pause it right here. I'm pausing it at 10141.
All right. Well, I will move mine back. Yes, I was 7 seconds ahead of you.
Yeah. Again, in the future, we'll try and get this a little bit tighter. Really sorry for confusion.
101. What'd you say? 10141?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I was way farther along than you.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, really? Well, we're
Yeah, I
gonna.
was at 150, 101.57.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. All right, so we're gonna pause it right here. Nate, you probably want to mute your mic if you need to go make pee-pees and
Yeah.
poo-poos. I'm
Yeah.
also gonna mute my mic, and we'll be back in let's call it about 10 minutes. We'll say 10
Let's call
minutes.
it 10 minutes.
10 minutes
You-
is kind
you
of
brought
long. Do you
something
think
other-
we need 10 minutes? Do you think that's a
I
long
don't
time?
know. I don't know.
Let's go with 5, and if you're not back, I'll just wait. How about that?
Sounds good.
All right, man.
Muting.
All right, we're back. I think. I hope everything looks
And
like
we're
it's
back.
moving. Yeah, I think that lady is. Yeah, I was looking up Tony Scott's wife from the movie. I think it is the same person. If I'm wrong, somebody can correct it in another chat. I got inspired and grabbed a little extra snacks. Grapes. There's so many damn grapes in that room. I broke off a little sprig. I don't want to bring all the grapes and crinkle the bag. So,
Yeah.
did you
You have a
reload?
lot.
Did you reload any snacks?
No, I'm
Prob-
still have the original setup of snacks.
Okay, so far, what do you think about it? What do you think about Days of Thunder? We're a little over halfway in. Got about an hour left.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I like it. I don't want. I'm sick of this love stuff already.
Hopefully, I think that I
Let's
got
get
us
back to racing and friendship.
now. We do have a little more friendship about to happen. We got a little more hard truths before we get back to the racing. So that's why I thought it would be nice to take a break during the doldrums. Like sometimes you get into that part of action movies where we need some story, and you slow down. You got to get up and go to the bathroom at some point in time. This is kind of the times that you do it because it's okay, it's fine, but the real love story is Harry and Cole. I think you'll agree.
Yeah.
So not to delay it any further, I'm gonna give a 1, 2, 3 go, and we'll go on go. You ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3 go.
They should be wearing helmets.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't think they're in Florida. I can't think of a lot of lakeside property in Florida that I know about where you would wear a coat at any point in time of the year.
This has got to be. This looks like it would be the east coast of.
It's probably near
Maine.
like the Carolinas and Virginias. Yeah, it probably is. Oh yeah, up to Maine. I don't. Yeah, I don't, because I only know 2 states that don't have helmet laws, and I think it's Florida and wherever Sturgis is, because that's why they have those big bike rallies there, because no helmet laws. So they can drive around and scramble up their coconut. No, what did he say earlier? Smash their watermelons. Lettuce is a what do they call it? Perishable item. Oh no. It's about to rowdy all over that boat. That's right, because men don't go to a doctor. Guys are tough. Boys don't cry.
He's got concussion symptoms, probably, or something.
Gulkas asked, what are we eating? Oh, yeah. You know what? While we're going through this, do you want to go through your list of snacks again since it cut out in the beginning? What are we down to? What do we got left?
I've got some popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
I've got pineapples. I haven't opened that one yet.
Ooh.
I've been feasting on these mangoes. Chunks.
Love a mango.
Got some orange juice. We've got some cold brew coffee. And I've got some water in a Gatorade bottle.
Very nice. Gulkas calls you, says you're beautiful. That ponytail.
Ah. Thank you, Gulkas.
Yeah, I was saying he looked great. I think the shirt's cool too. Your shirt game is on point right now.
Thank you.
You have.
Thank you, Trent.
I think you found the drip. When I drip, you drip. We drip.
Mm-hmm. Why are they watching racing?
It's always on in the South. It's probably a Sunday. Because I think they are both missing a race. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, Chad said something a while back. He brought up right after he lived, dies, repeat, talking about Oblivion and the Tom Cruise pantheon. So it's like, I feel like, yeah, so there's Ethan Hunt, which is, the Mission Impossibles. And then you have this other, like, reckless career that then is weirdly military at times. I definitely can see Oblivion. Live, die, repeat, I feel like has to have happened before Oblivion, which I think is what he's saying. So, yeah, I think that tracks. I think if I do a marathon, I have to tie all those in together.
Atlanta, that's where Coca-Cola is from.
I've been there to that track. I got to race around in the parking lot. I did the Mazda Rev It Up competition 2 years in a row. It was also kind of like a thing where they're promoting the new.
Did you win?
No. In my section, I pulled third out of 10. I'm okay with a podium. We got to take a Mazda 6 and drive it as hard as I could. It was the most fun I've ever had in my life. It was so cool. I went back a second year. They also were demoing cars, some of the other Mazda cars. So I got to drive the RX-8 before it came out, and then they had a Miata. And Miatas are like the most fun car in the world to drive. Like it's a tiny car, and you can just kick the rear end out. And it was supposed to be a test drive, and I was like, is there a speed test on this? Like a place where I can see how fast it'll go? And they're like, yeah, this first part's the speed part. So if you want to go fast, this is the part to do it in. I go, okay. And I did the rest of it as fast as I could. I have video somewhere of me doing it. A friend of mine had a camera, but at a certain point, he got so scared, he sits the camera in his lap, and you just hear me go, the most diabolical slide you've ever heard. We pulled up, and people over the announcers like, all right, so if you're doing the test drive, remember this isn't a race. You don't need to. And he just started listing things that I did. Getting out of the car and just leaving the race absolutely is something that happens. I think it happened like last season. They were like, it's over. And then they had a poopy attitude about it. So he does kind of have the yips. You definitely called that, man.
Yep.
His yip is Russ Wheeler. The pirate captain Roberts? Dread pirate Roberts? Dread Captain Roberts? Is he a captain too? Are all pirates captains?
Only the captain is.
Okay. Yar, me name Captain Peg, but you're the first mate. Yar, yeah. But me mom named me Captain. Technically,
if you're like
Captain.
If you're like the swab, the deck swabber, you're not going to be called Captain.
No, but I'm a pirate. Yeah, but you can't go. Yeah, but it's my pirate name. My pirate name just is Captain. Yeah, if I'm trimming any fat on this movie, it's going to be in this segment. Like, we get it. Yeah, he's not winning. His girlfriend's really emo. His best friend used to hate him. He's still driving Superflow. Hardee's would have been better. They have the good biscuits. You can't eat anything from Superflow, I don't think. Look at his teeny tiny villain glasses. He's like the guy in Ghost in the Shell.
You should get teeny tiny villain glasses.
And I just look like cross-eyed everywhere I go. Oh my gosh. Yeah, honestly, I may in the future set like a timer just to kind of remind me. I've got a cool little kitchen timer I could use too to just remind me to like shake the mouse around and make the time code come up. That's where the buffering happens. So that's where we get off is every time I do that. And I did it a lot. So I think if I limit it to like every 10, 15 minutes, it'll be less times. So it'll get less off and then I don't have to change too much. So otherwise I got to get real creative. So yeah, if anybody's watched this far, thank you so much. This is something I wanted to do. It seemed like a lot of fun. Look how he parked. What an asshole.
Do you think McDonald's paid for that spot for the asshole to be driving Hardee's?
Oh, like they paid more to do it or whatever?
Yeah, they're like, hey, can you, this is Burger King. Can you make Hardee's?
The asshole?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I will say Carrie always gets the best line of the whole movie. It's coming up.
Did he say it truly was some Days of Thunder?
The Days of Thunder, it was the 14th through the 25th.
You know how the race cars have nose rings?
Hood pins, yes.
Yeah. What do you think of civilian cars that put nose rings on their cars?
I had them on mine. Why are you shitting on me right now? You know this about me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Why are you calling me out, bro? Yeah, so what? I vape. Why are you in my grill about hood pins? They're cool. I go so fast my hood might fly off. My Scion is a race car.
You put hood pins on your new car?
No. No, I'll never do that again. I did that
You have
once.
to now because your new
No,
car's cooler.
no, but no. Well, you remember I couldn't get the hood open that one time, so I don't want to mess with that.
That was funny.
That's poking the bear. That was wild. But no, the hood pins were just for fun, and it was more like can I do this? But like I did it after I had that car for about a year. It was a brand new car, and I drilled really big holes in the hood and just had to hope I lined them up. It was I felt sick at my stomach when we did it. And so I was like,
why is he asking him to change his tires?
I don't know. Why could that be? He's doing his victory lap.
Do some shenanigans.
This is where Carrie always gets the best line of the whole movie.
That's the line.
I want to pay for that scream if I ever make movies. Instead of a Wilhelm scream, I want the Carrie always scream. Ah! It's so weird.
So the race was okay.
And that's 100% happened before. Absolutely. I would be shocked if it was only once. Because I'm telling you, the emotion, there's no place where emotions are higher than the pits of a racetrack. Yes, that too. And I mean specifically NASCAR, but they get kind of petty in other sports too. It's just, there's more of an expectation for hitting and things like that. Yeah, they get Richard Petty. My grandma has her favorite story she tells about Richard Petty. There was some picture taken of him back in the 70s that was like a promo picture, and he was in like short shorts or something. It was supposed to be like sexy Tom Petty. Or not Tom Petty, Richard Petty. Richard Petty. I keep saying Tom Petty. But Richard Petty, the race car driver. And so my grandma said, oh, his shorts are petty blue. And that's her favorite thing to tell people about NASCAR. Yeah, speaking of safety, safety and obnoxious fans. Every race, I don't know if it's still true now, but for like a 10-year period, I'm talking.
They're doing a beef. They're doing a beef.
Yeah, he's got beef. This guy, yeah, beef and cheddar. Yeah, this guy didn't know he's getting the full trickle. He's not getting the trickle. He's Jesus. He's off that caddy or Caprice. Is Caprice or caddy? Probably Caprice. It's Caprice. It's like a 1990, I think. I drove one of those. It's awful. The worst car I've ever driven in my life. I've driven cars on fire, and that car was the worst car I ever drove. It was like driving a sofa. I don't know how else to explain it. It's like if you wanted to guess how to get your car down the road, you drive a 1990 Caprice.
I don't have denial.
Well, if you have denial, then I have denial. We all have denial. That joke didn't work. I was reaching too. Shouldn't have even tried. I knew better. Yeah, see, like right now, they've definitely done some. Like it has to have been a Dutch angle to get them to look like they're and they still kind of don't look like they're eye to eye. It's subtle, but like, you know, if you're in the moment, you're paying attention to how great of an actor that Nicole Kidman is, then you don't notice it.
Are those anchor earrings?
Oh, I don't know. Is she a captain too?
Yeah, I think so.
Everyone's
Pirates
a captain. Dirt track. Tell you what, I will stand up for NASCAR a little bit. Dirt track, yeah, I mean, y'all can have it.
Man. Speed Queen. I have a Speed Queen.
Oh, where's that at?
That's that brand of washer right there.
Oh, they put Speed Queens at the laundromat that's at the racetrack?
Yep.
Do you think they caught do you think they were like, hell yeah? Or do you think they were like, oh, I never noticed?
I don't know, man.
I thought those are some bitchin' rides to just drive like assholes on the dirt track. They're like really nice.
Look at that. Tweeze that. Look at that.
It's a power brow, bro.
Yeah, powerfully dumb looking.
That was the time back then, man. You saw that thick bush above your bridge, you knew what's going on downtown.
Yeah.
Like the
just TV up behind me.
Like the cruise missile matches the drapes. Yeah, so it's the South, so it's either football or NASCAR. That's all it was on TV, or the movies about football or NASCAR. Like that's all it was. I was in hell when I was a kid.
Someone's smoking in that room with the baby.
Someone's smoking in every room with a baby. It's 1990. It's barely into the new decade. Or yeah, all the things. I had to explain to somebody what headache powders were the other day. Do you know what headache powders are?
It sounds like something old timey people use.
Okay, so it is a Southern thing. You can buy BC powders in gas stations down south now. Like they sell, it's a brand new.
Is it like you just put it in your water and you drink it?
No, you just do it down your gullet. I think it processes faster. I think makes sense, but it is an old timey thing. But so is aspirin and Tylenol, and those have been around.
Snort it.
Because it sucks. It's not fun. Why would you do that?
I don't know.
I don't want my headache to go away that bad.
That's how people do other drugs to make it go faster.
Yeah, but then it's fun. Kids, please don't snort VC powders, goody powders. That's what we call them in the South, goody powders. That's why that was so. I didn't know that was a Southern thing. That headache powder was. It just went the wayside up here.
I'm not an expert on anything, so maybe.
But the fact that none of your family has ever talked about that, and because I know that is a regular term,
that will not.
Yeah,
that will fuck up your pool table.
Yeah, it's not cool, man. It's not cool. He's gonna have to go buy another one with his pocket change.
Oh, that's the reverse of an air tie.
That's the air tie is undone because that's quitting time.
Yeah, it's around.
It's called Daddy's done. Daddy's done.
He's in a wedding reception mode.
Bro, I just went to a wedding recently and I took sneakers with me and I made it through the ceremony, and then it was like an outdoor kind of thing with kids running around playing. I went straight to the car. I threw my sneakers on and came back.
Smart.
Like, sorry guys, but
I think brides do that.
They should. They absolutely should.
Some brides do that. I think like after the service, they'll put on some sensible comfy shoes.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that people should have change of shoes for their wedding and some food in their wherever they are changing, where they're set up at. Because a lot of times bride and grooms don't get to eat, and they've probably been stressed out. And now the wedding part's over. Have a couple bites of something, some water. Water's good for you. And then get back out there. Oh my God, I'm having to drink so much water right now. Talking about the South. When I went down, I said, because I've been sort of not like dieting, just eating better in general. And so I've cut out like sodas. I've cut out just a ton of stuff. But I went on vacation and I was going to the South, and I'm like, well, I'm on vacation. I don't care.
Yeah.
And so the first beverage I had was a sweet tea. The next 10 beverages I had were sweet teas. Not to get too personal, but I peed straight up sweet tea the very next day. And I don't know if you know a whole lot about how the body works, but that's a one-way trip to a kidney stone. And I was like, oh God. And so
oh yeah, you've had those
a lot. Day 2 of vacation, I said, hey, I'm only drinking water for a few days. I've broken my kidneys. They're not doing anything. They're just letting it go straight through. But I drank so much. And a friend of ours, the Lees, when I met him in Atlanta, the first thing he wanted to do was have a sweet tea. Even though I don't want to get too personal with him, but he has health things that go against it. But he's like, you know what? For one glass, it's worth it. He was like very romantic about it. And I was like, I could do without it. And then I moved up here and I'm like, give it all to me. Please. I'll buy it from a man behind a gas station. Yeah. It's a very real thing. A lot of times race car drivers, what they're going through right now, they're talking about him losing his ride. The sponsor isn't going to stick around and pay if he's, scrambled up his watermelon.
Hey, Trent, can I take an emergency break?
Yeah, well, just mute your mic and you can step out. I'm going to keep it going.
All right, I'll keep it going.
Okay. So now I have to entertain everybody. Uh-oh. I wonder right now, though. So he told him if he bends this, his quote was bitch, even the least little bit, I'll tear your balls off. And now he's like, I want you to go race the whole race car in a real race where the majority of the time you've been on the track, you've been in an accident. So I'm just wondering, where's the ball rip-off scene gonna happen? What amazes me is all the running in cowboy boots. We'll talk about them being the most comfortable shoes I've ever owned. I don't know what's wrong with my feet. So anybody that's still here, thanks for hanging out. Thanks, Chad. Anybody that's watching on YouTube later, thank you. Shout out to the lazy Susan that provides you with everything you need for a good night. Cherries, Planters peanuts, moonshine. Fun fact for the audience: this is also a real thing. There was a guy that was building a stock car, and he acid dipped the. He figured out you could take the whole frame and dip it in acid. It could also be an urban myth, but ate off just enough metal to make it thinner. And it was like driving paper. It was dangerous as hell. But I bet it went fast. Welcome back.
Sorry, I had to go race a car.
You missed all the good parts.
Yeah, no. All of a sudden, I realized that I hadn't done a quarter mile yet today. I try to do a quarter mile. I live my whole life 1/4
That's
mile.
how you live it, yeah. All this racing just got you so horned up, you had to go run around the block.
I had to quick. Yep, I was rubbing paint.
So all you really missed is we're still kind of going through the yips and everything. He's gone and he's visited with Rowdy. Rowdy said, hey, would you drive my car for me because my sponsor's going to drop me because my head's still scrambled up. My coconut's still scrambled up.
Yeah.
This gets a little. It's a little too. I don't know
Oh,
that.
he's about to do something to him.
About to stomp his shit in. Harry don't play around. Listen here, I don't know what they taught you in the Navy, but this is the dirty, dirty. I'm gonna slap you around.
Who's gonna drive Cole's car?
Cole doesn't have a sponsor at this point, so yeah, that's kind of what they were going through as well. Is that like he's not winning any races? His sponsor's going to drop him. Yep. Rowdy is sick and he can't drive, and he's well, not sick, but he can't drive, and so he goes to Harry, and Harry's like, "We'll talk about anything but racing." He's like, "We can hang out, we can get drunk, call the women." Harry's painting a tractor to show that he doesn't need to. Hello, Lizzie. That he doesn't need to.
Do you recognize this one?
Yeah, I said hello, Lizzie.
Hi, Lizzie.
But yeah, so this is him telling him like, I knew you blew the engine on purpose. Because he could check it on the I don't remember what it's called. It's the button on attack that just tells you the last RPMs that it stopped at. So he checked it and told him, I know you did it. You're scared. This is the same thing that happened to the other guy. I told an awesome NASCAR fact I'm not going to repeat.
That's okay. I'll listen to it back.
Okay. It's actually not a fact. I think it might be a urban myth. So now that you say you're going to listen to it, got me nervous. But yeah, we're still building back up to the fall through to the finish. He's got to summon it. But this is one of those things too I talk about. Like I think everybody that learns how to edit video thinks, yeah, I can take about 30 minutes out of anything. I think every editor is an armchair editor too. Or maybe I'm just projecting. But this is definitely. I would trim so much of this down. I would definitely keep him going to see them. But I don't know. I just feel like some things could be handled at the same time, Be efficient about it. And let's get back to the Days of Thunder. Because right now I don't hear no thunder.
This is Days of Slumber right here.
Ah, boy. Oh, man. Why did it take us all the way to almost the third act to get there?
Why is his one tooth in the middle?
Because it's a homing beacon for the spaceship.
Oh, okay.
That's the one because he's a spy, yeah. So that's the one that has the
cyanide in it.
Cyanide, that's it.
Didn't he get braces like 10 years ago or something?
Yeah, I thought that was actually a cool thing. Like adults getting braces, I think is an awesome thing, and I think that a lot of people are nervous to do it. There we go. There's your citrus drink.
Mellow, yeah. They call me Mellow Yellow.
Mellow was originally a moonshine, so was Mountain Dew. It was a type. It was a like not a brand. It was just a type. A type. Yeah, I don't know how else to explain it. Like
I knew Mountain Dew was. I didn't know.
Yeah. Which also, do you know that NASCAR came from Shiners, right?
No.
So yeah, people had to go take and deliver their moonshine, and then that was right about the time the car was getting popular, and so the police started getting cars. And so the people that had to deliver the moonshine to like all the aunts and neighbors and cousins that are on the list, they would take cars and modify them. And you get a bunch of dudes around that their job is to deliver moonshine, and they've altered their cars, they're customized them. They're going to start talking smack. Now, yeah. These are all real race car drivers right here, by the way. They were all more than happy to just say some stuff about a fake race car driver. But yeah, so eventually you get these boys together and they're talking a big game. And I believe the first races were done half on the Daytona Beach and half on the road. And then I think they discovered the Bonneville Salt Flats was like a good place to test cars, so they quit racing on the beach. Rusty Wallace, he's a commentator now. He's the one that came up with Boogity Boogie Boogie. Let's go racing. That's his thing. He loves it. He loves that Boogity Boogie Boogie. Ooh, do I really want that Hardy's hat, or do I really hate that Hardy's hat? I can't tell.
No, you want it.
I kind of hate it, though. Like a lot, but I want it. Wiggle your big toe.
Are those special driving shoes so you can feel the pedals better?
Yeah. Yeah, and they're flame proof.
Like how some nerds who play drums have special drumming shoes.
I got shoes for the sim, for the racing sim, but it's for twofold. One, I don't want to get gross stuff that's on my shoe on it because it's a toy. It'd be like what if you wanted to if you play PlayStation and every time you have to put your foot on the controller, you probably won't want to touch that controller again. Right. So I picked up some indoor soccer shoes because they're really cheap and they're made similarly to racing. Racing shoes are really expensive. Pumas like Drift Kings and stuff are like $300. I'd love to just be steezing in them, but I'm not. I'm not living it like that. But no, they're also fireproof because
Oh,
They catch on fire a lot, these cars. I'm an engine. I'm a race car in the red, Jules, and it's not safe to have a race car in the red.
my fingers touch brain. TNT, motherfucker.
I'm a mushroom. Yeah, absolutely. That's what
I'm
we
a
got to do on
mushroom
one of
clay
these.
crowd laying motherfucker.
That's what we got to do with some Tarantino.
Sorry for swearing on your stream.
Yeah, I have some. I'm gonna.
I just said it without thinking about it.
Yeah, I just don't want to swear as much as I do in real life.
Yeah, like kids watch this.
Most kids have heard me swear.
Yeah,
I usually just find kids and swear at them. They gotta learn young. Look, he's even got like a fashionista girl on his arm.
Oh, you need those small glasses.
I hate those a lot. I like the ones on the right, the bigger ones. That's what's up. I got a big old nugget. I need big glasses. It's so weird that Randy Quaid is so normal and level. He's the only reasonable person in this whole movie, and yet he's Cousin Eddie. And on the run
full. I mean, Pooper's full.
What's the other thing he's crazy? Oh, Independence Day. We're back!
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss Tony Scott. I was always more of a Tony Scott fan than I was Ridley Scott because Tony sort of tackled these. I don't know. Ridley always felt bigger and more epic and more like classy, and Tony was a little more of a street fight, in my opinion. You know, especially like in his latter day, like Man on Fire is incredible. I like Domino a lot. I know a lot of people don't, but I think it was pretty nuts. There's some shenanigans. Yeah, so well, no. So what they were talking about is they needed I believe this is where they talked about it because I was just talking over it. They needed an engine and they didn't know where they were going to get one, and so there's some like subtlety with Randy Quaid and Robert Duvall. He gave them an engine.
Okay.
He has no monetary ties to this current team that they're on, but he's one of the boys. So he came to race. And that's what you see a lot in racing, honestly, across the board, any division of racing, because you don't when you're in, here's a little racing philosophy for you. You do not race the other racers. You race yourself. So you're all out there on a team and every one of you want to go as fast as you possibly can. If you do that, you're probably not going to kill each other and you're going to have a great time. And yeah, someone's going to win and someone isn't. But you get back out there and race again.
I'm not playing the game. I'm playing you.
There you go. But the opposite.
But the opposite. Flip them.
Sometimes you're racing against the car, to be honest. Oh my God, I got to tell you about this. So before we actually get back into the action. So part of this journey, I started working on making a racing sim and I got a PlayStation subscription. So it had NASCAR Heat on it, the newest one for free. And I was like, let's throw it in. I haven't played a NASCAR game since the early 2000s, maybe 90s on a PlayStation 1. And it's back then, so they didn't have the Roval, they didn't do street courses. It was all oval bank tracks. And it was pretty boring. So I was like, what's this like now with a racing sim? And so I'm going in checking the settings and I was like, can I do 100% of a race? You can. I did the Talladega 500 and I did it in an hour and a half, mostly because it's a fake car. So it's interesting because I didn't read any of the instructions. And so I've just been going around this track for seriously 20 minutes. And I see the fuel gauge is a number instead of like a hand. And it started at 100 and it's at about 30. And I was like, I wonder how I get in the pits. I wonder what this process is going to be like. It took like 2 or 3 laps until the computer finally let me come into the pits. And I finished that whole race, and I will never do it again. Uh-oh. Does this look familiar? Oh no, my PTSD!
My PTSD!
Yeah, just go to the top. The cars fall down. Cars don't roll up, cars roll down. That's another tires win a race, loose is fast, cars roll down.
Oh, phew.
See, cars roll down.
See, drop the hammer again. It wasn't until I drove your sim, that I realized how much you do have to shift
Yeah, yeah. It's like
to
a
go
second
fast.
gas pedal, really.
Because I used to think that this was bullshit. Like they're just adding extra shifts just to look cool.
I
Like how
will
many gears do you have?
say
But it's true. You were
in
having me. You were telling me when to shift, and it was making a big difference.
yeah, yeah.
You
Well, I will say there
you
is a
abused the
difference.
hell.
So the racing that you were doing was GT racing, and yes, a lot more shifting in that. This they actually wouldn't. They only have like 3 gears, and once it's in third gear, unless you have a wreck, you're not downshifting. It's just wide the hell open. Like they have to restrict these cars at some of these tracks. At Talladega, they'll go over 200. Like these cars are just uncontrollable. They're that much power, and they're made to just go like for so long. So it is true and it isn't true, but yeah, GT racing when you're making a lot of sharp turns, it's because at that point the gas pedal's an on-off switch. You don't treat it as like you're driving to the store. Um, that's why I have to hear it. I have to hear the engine. So that's why I don't. They have like a lot of new cool accessibility things coming out for like the PlayStation, and I watched a blind dude drive in Gran Turismo with some new assists that they're working on for accessibility. I honestly would have a harder time. Well, I wouldn't have a harder time overall. I'd have a harder time going fast if I couldn't hear because I can't watch the tack and I can't do that. And you can't feel it on a sim unless you have like a really expensive one. So I got to hear, you know. And the great thing about driving a video game is you can't blow the engine. You just peg it to the floor, man. So do you remember your lessons about drafting? There's a naked woman involved, so you probably weren't paying attention to the teacher.
Yeah, with drafting, you take your sugar packets.
One sweet and low in front of the other sweet and low. There's actually, I was learning about. There's actually like a cushion of air in front of the car. You can push people faster too, but you can't be at odds with them. You know, Carrie Elways is not going to get in your special air lane. He's going to hit the pace car. It's intense, man.
Oh, because he's in the top gear, so he has to.
It's
He's stuck in top.
also if he tries to go fast, he'll get no traction right there. So it's better to get it up to speed before he puts a little gas to it. It'll just spin out. Oh, I don't know if you get away with that one. They might, President of NASCAR might have something to tweet about that. I was watching 24-hour Le Mans, and near the end of it, everybody was awake again, and it was the last like hour or so, and everyone's on their phones. And one of the announcers is just like, he's like, "What did race car drivers do before Twitter and WhatsApp?" And the American announcer goes, "They walked around and smoked cigarettes." Yes, not a lot of time. It's not a lot of room for activities. We don't know what interval means.
He can't hear you.
You're right. Remember me? And he shot him finger guns. He definitely can't see them. But this movie's got the iconic lines. Remember me? It's got the Robin's racing. That's super iconic. It's up there with the Need for Speeds, and you've lost that love and feeling. What was the other song in Top Gun that was really big? Is it Great Balls of Fire? I think he played that on the piano.
Yeah, that was in there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not talking as much because this is intense.
Yeah, man. You're in the thunder. He's gonna slip by hard D's nuts. It's too little, too late. Man, I do miss Hardee's though. That's how you knew it was gonna be a good day. You go by Hardee's on the way to the job. Get a cinnamon raisin biscuit.
He's gonna go to the inside.
He never goes on the inside. He always. Oh no, he's rope-a-doping him. He's doing a rope-a-dope. Oh no.
See ya. Wouldn't want to be
What?
you.
No. Wait. No. Yes. Remember me? Now you can hear it. I'm next to you. He's he's going at like 180 miles an hour, smushing him into the wall and just smiling and laughing.
Yeah.
That's attempted murder.
That's attempted.
I'd just like to point that out.
Look at all those witnesses.
They say it's the biggest crowd ever. I have a lot of subpoenas. Yeah, you'll notice like one of the big crews that ran over was tied because again, some of this they pulled out from like actual races and stuff. And NASCAR's always kind of needed money, so they're like, "Yeah, you want to pay us to film a movie? Sure. What do you want?"
You're my girlfriend.
Oh man, not the whites. She wore all white to that day, and we've already discussed it's clearly past Labor Day. Oh God, he's so dirty. Oh God, and he drove with his mouth open the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, sad Harry. The days of thunder's almost over. He doesn't want it to end.
Why is he upset?
He's having a moment, man. They won, dude. They pulled it together. They learned how to quack together. And he didn't have to cheat. And he didn't have to do anything crazy or wild. They just raced. And got lucky with a wreck. And on their timing. And that the other guy gave him another engine. Rowdy let him drive his car. But other than that, it was just their skill that got him here.
Yep. Do I have to run for this part?
Yeah, boy. Dude, Harry's trucking it. Look at Duvall. Look at Tom is like, holy shit, he's fast. There it is.
It truly was Days of Thunder.
What did you think about this, man?
Great movie. Great movie.
Yeah? I mean,
yeah.
Do you think you would have enjoyed it? So in 1990, how old would you have been? Do you know right offhand?
11.
Okay. So probably would have been right about the age to start watching this because it absolutely would have played on like USA and things like that down south. So if this had just played up here,
I wouldn't have been allowed to watch it.
Really? Because of the pee-pee scene, the touching pee, the Coles trickle?
Because of PG-13. Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to watch it.
Oh, like any PG-13 you couldn't watch?
Not really.
What's the movie? Three Musketeers? The Disney one? What is that rated? Yeah. Is that PG?
I think that's PG.
It probably is.
But it is the most horniest. It's the horniest.
That's crazy. That movie's okay, but not. This wouldn't have been. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's it, everybody. This was the first talkover.
Yeah.
Letting the credits play. I think we'll let them play out and finish. Just anybody.
This is a pretty rocking tune on the credits here.
Telling you, man. It's the score was really good, but also the soundtrack. That song in the beginning is like one of my favorites of all time, and I'm blanking on the name now. The one that's like top and up, papa dabba ziba da ba.
I think it was called Days of Thunder.
It should have been. So glad we made it. Song rules, man. Then the harmonica starts going. So yeah, this is a glimpse into my childhood.
This is Trent's childhood.
Yeah, and honestly, it's so weird that I'm like, yeah, I like Days of Thunder, but everyone's like, but you don't like NASCAR. I'm like, no, because I want a story, and I don't get a story when I'm just watching, people going around the track.
But and it's like any sport where you have to care about one of the teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
like you need to have a reason to enjoy it, and like I never knew any of the goings on because especially when we didn't have social media back then, we had no idea about these people. And honestly, some of the better race car drivers were the ones that never talked. Like Senior just never said 2 words. Craziest man on the planet, but he just didn't say anything. It's when they start opening their mouth sometimes a race car driver will get going for a while.
They can't let anyone famous talk.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I think that a lot about race car drivers. They'll put the mic in their face. They do their thing of the sponsors. And then it's like, that needs to be it. Because you let them go for a while and you start thinking, oh no, this is why he does this for a while. But not all of them, because some of them have parlayed this into Earnhardt Jr. now has a whole second career of podcasting and hosting shows and commentating. He's really good at it. He tells a lot of great stories, and a lot of people want to go on it and have a good time with it. So there are exceptions, but there are some where it's like, oh no, he's going to say something we don't like in a minute. Somebody tackle him. Give me some lovin'. Steve Winwood. Okay, that's why I like it so much. Because he's ELO, yeah? No? Who's Steve Winwood with?
I think he is.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm a love ELO.
Man,
there's a lot more songs than I remember being in it. Bob Dylan wrote "Knocking on Heaven's Door." How dumb am I?
Didn't know that? Yeah,
no. Yeah. "Last Note of Freedom" is the Hans Zimmer and Billy Idol song. Oh yes, Joan Jett song.
That's what the sound of freedom is. It's that song.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to wrap this up here. Thank you again, everybody that checked this out. If you're checking it out in the future, thank you from the past. You have anything else before we take off, Nate?
Drink your Ovaltine.
Yes, definitely drink it. Also, water is really good for you. And use lotion a lot more than you think. Even a little bit has SPF in it. It's really good. The sun's very dangerous.
Yep.
Okay, bye.
Bye.